Hello, welcome to Tuesday Night Live. My name is Betty Sakosha. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 21 years now, and I'm the team leader for the Power of Positive Inking. I'm here on most Tuesday nights, so I'm grateful for those of you watching me live. And if you are watching me live, tell me you're here. And if you're not watching me live, just let me know that you were able to watch this on replay, and certainly reach out should you have any questions at all. So tonight, we are not quite halfway through SaleABration. If you're not familiar with that, SaleABration is a big deal that Stampin' Up! Has, big sale that Stampin' Up! Has, at this point, it's twice a year. In the olden days, it was once a year. Then it was for 3 months, used to be 2 months once a year, then it was for 3 months once a year, and now it's 2 months twice a year. So it's a great time to stock up on things that you might want and then accumulate some freebies as well. It is July the 19th, I think, something somewhere around there. So we have another month. SaleABration goes through the end of August. But I do caution you because they sometimes run out of things, and things are as supplies last. That's pretty much true of the world at this point, but definitely true of Stampin' Up! SaleABration items. So already something has sold out. It is, there are note cards and envelopes that are no longer available and are not coming back. But the good news is, in my opinion, the really good stuff is still available. So I'm hoping to inspire you tonight. And if you didn't catch my video from last week, that was my absolute favorite thing. Those were the camper dies, still available and absolutely my favorite. So if you feel the same way about camping, you're definitely going to want to put those in your cart. But today I have something else to show you, something I didn't think I needed, but turns out I did. So let me flip you down. Hello, Marie. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to flip you down and we'll chat. Whoops, that's my ceiling. Oh, don't do this to me. Okay, this happened to me once, and I ended up on America's Funniest Videos. That's a true story. I'm not lying. I set off a filter. There were scary clowns everywhere. Didn't end well. Okay, so let me bring you down, and we can chat. I wish I could make it brighter, but I can't. So there we go. Okay. So what I'm talking about today. Oh, I was looking for that. Okay, in the, this is your SaleABration catalog, which runs July 1st through August 22nd, 2022. And on page 4, let me show you the things that sold out, just so you are aware that you got to concentrate your efforts elsewhere. These right here, these Pool Party and Soft Seafoam, 2 fantastic colors. Those were the cards and envelopes that were free with a $50 purchase, but they are gone. Sorry to say. You'll have to find another way around that. But good news, people, good news. The Hippo Stamp Set and the Hippo dies are still available. So let me talk to you a little bit about the Hippo Stamp Set and the Hippo dies. Hippo Stamp Set comes with 4 greetings and 3 different hippos. You're always on point. You're so hip. Aw, you really are the best, and love you a ton. There are your hippos. And these are good unto themselves. But I'm going to show you something else you're going to need. I'm reading a note now from Susan who said she's not the camper type, but I sold her on the camper. So if you're not the hippo type, maybe I will sell you on these tonight as well, because these are fantastic. Okay, so this is with a $50 qualifying purchase. So if you order $50 worth of paper, adhesive, cutting plates, whatever it is that you might need, if you order $50 before tax and shipping, you can pick a number of things in this catalog, but certainly hippos are one of them. But look, ooh, there's more. For a different $50 purchase, so if you order $100 worth of stuff, you can get both of them. Or if you order $50, you might choose to get the Hippo dies. And here's why. Okay, this is an incredible bargain because you get 50, let me see how many dies you get. A lot. 22 dies for free when you order $50 worth of stuff, right? So what does this really translate to? Let me show you. Whoa. Okay, here's what they all look like. So here's your 3 hippos, basic, right? 3 different size hearts, a party hat, a scuba mask, or it could be a ski mask, or this morning my friend Patricia told me it could be a sleep mask. So many options right there, right there. And not only does it fit on the hippos, but if you are a gnome fan, the gnomes that are in our current catalog, it also fits on them. I don't own the gnomes, so I can't show you, but I have seen other people post it. So this mask fits all the gnomes as well. Okay, here's a scuba snorkely thing. You know, it's got a name. Tube? Scuba tube? Sure. Sunglasses. 3 different flowers that cut out. These cut out together and this cuts out separately. A boat. A rudder. A life preserver. I drew those in, so I know they do a great job doing it, but you get the general idea. A life preserver. A plant. 3 tiny little stars. 3 splashes. A tub. And an umbrella and a wave. And this wave doesn't come this length, like you can cut it any length you want. That's just for me to show you what it looks like. But you get all of this for just a $50 purchase. So I'm going to show you a bunch of things tonight. I'm not stamping all that much, but I'm going to show you a bunch of things that I created with the set that I didn't think I needed. Okay, so here is my first card. Pretty basic. I use the, I don't know what they call this. Stampers are having a blast sharing all the great cards with the hippos. There's so many fun things. You know what I think it is? Stampin' Up! Comes out with a creature every time they have a SaleABration. So we've had otters, we've had sheep, we've had, trying to think, we've had a bunch of, it seems like every SaleABration there's a new animal. And admittedly so, the sheep had kind of a weird eye thing going on. But look at these eyes. They're so real because they got little pupils in them. They're so cute. In any case, so this is, I happen to use a die to cut this out, but if you didn't have a die, you could just cut out a rectangle and it would also be very cute. Sandy is reminding me there were donkeys, you're right. And we've had goats, but I think you had to purchase the goats. But I feel like there's always there's always a critter in our SaleABration. So like I said, I did cut this out, but you could just, if you didn't have this, you could certainly do a rectangle. And I use the, I think it's called Big Wishes stamp set to do the words there. And this paper is actually from this pack of paper that goes with the tea, our tea boutique suite. So this pack of paper has some, there are some tea things for sure, but the other side of it has pretty neutral things, and that's where this paper came from here. So simple, basic hippo card. Okay, card number 1. Card number 2. I love her. Okay, so this paper is actually part of our Halloween. It's found on the Halloween section of our mini catalog, and it is called Black and White Designs. That is a, I don't want to say, that's a basic name. It's a very basic name. But the nice thing about this paper is it really does not, there's nothing Halloween-y necessarily about it other than it's black and white designs. But one side has a lot of gray, and one side is black and white. So what I did for this one, you can't really see because I glued it down pretty well. Ooh, that'll make you dizzy if I open up that whole thing. That might make you dizzy as well. I won't open up all of these, but there is, okay, so here's the paper, right? So I used this paper. Let me move this out of the way. And initially, I thought I wanted it pink, so I used my blender pen and I tried to make it pink. So I'll try and show you the other side, but in the end, I didn't love it. So I used this side of the paper and just kind of accented the pinks with these stars here. That worked out perfect. So let me show you on the inside of the card. I used the leftover circle. So that was the circle here. I used the leftover. You're always on point. So cute, dancing hippos. Oh, love it. Okay, next. Okay, you know there's a song called I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, right? Just to let you know, I don't think that song existed. It's an old song, but I feel like it wasn't around when I was a child. Like it has had a resurgence in the past few years. So I wanted to make a Christmas hippo card. And yet I didn't really have Christmas hippo words to put in my card, but I thought if I use this embossing folder, so this embossing folder has the notes on it. My friend Marie, I think, has told me, I believe the song on this is called Joy to the World, maybe? I'm not really sure. Okay, I don't know. I can't really read music. But it's definitely music, and if you didn't know, you could think that this music said, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. So this paper here was taken from the welcome back package of Christmas paper called I think it's called Painted Christmas, I think. And I just added, there's not gray in here, but I needed to tie him in, or her, I'm not sure. And I just used a layer of gray here, and that seemed to work out fine. So then I thought, well, that's not really a conventional Christmas song, so let's do something really unconventional. And I used some unconventional Christmas colors. Now, I do not want you to overlook this because, let me tell you, it is easy to overlook. I've talked to more than one demonstrator, let alone customers who have overlooked this. So let me show you where you can find that paper. That paper is called the SaleABration 12 by 12 paper, which is found at the very end of the mini catalog. And the reason it's at the very end is because it's a hostess only set of paper. So you can get this cute little singing mice, caroling mice. They would be cute in the exact same card, to be honest. Or you can get this pack of designer paper. There are 48 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. This is a lot of paper. This is going to take you through nearly every holiday. And it's only $18. You can only get it if you're a hostess. Well, how do you become a hostess, you ask? It's very simple. You just put in a big order and you are a hostess. So hostess orders are $150. They can be one person. One person can be a hostess. You don't need to actually clean your house or invite people over or serve them food. You can do it all online if you would like. I'm more than happy to have a party for you if that is of interest to you, but you can just sit down yourself with your favorite beverage and come up with a $150 order and then get this huge pack of paper. Did I mention how huge this pack of paper is? So it's double-sided because everything that Stampin' Up! Has is double-sided, right? So that's one side. I can't even flip this whole thing over. I should have prepped this better, but look at this side. Oh, look at this candy. Oh, can't stand it. It's so cute. And then this, like they got Halloween paper here, more Halloween paper, paper that has like no, like kind of generic-y paper, but very holiday-ish paper as well. And they've got some fall paper here. So do not overlook that. If you are placing a large order, really consider that maybe you would like to get yourself a lot of paper. And that's exactly where this paper came from. So it's the exact same card. I swapped out a darker gray because the lighter gray frankly looks silly with that. So I just swapped out a darker gray and used two of the designs of paper to have a little less of a traditional Christmas card. Okay, put that aside. All right, now my next, I am going to demonstrate something here for you because I do want to show you how I colored it. Now, I was talking with my friend Patricia today, and she lives in Vancouver, and she was telling me that some people are using crumb cake under their gray. So I have only been using, okay, well, let me take a step back. Okay, you have to color your, well, you don't have to, but in order to color your basic white hippo, I have been using my my Stampin' Blends. You could also use regular markers. You could use an aqua painter or a water painter and your ink pads. You could use watercolor pencils. You could use pastels. There's lots of different ways you could color them. This is something I've kind of just started with, and I love it. So everything that you see practically tonight has been colored with blends. And I am using the light and dark. If you love hippos, I would absolutely add these blends to your order. Because you are going to go through a lot of gray. So I think you will enjoy. You will need this if you want the hippos, is what I'm saying. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing that. Ellen just got her paper. And she's going to be very creative with it because that's how she rolls. Enjoy, Ellen, enjoy. I'm using light crumb cake because my friend Patricia told me that people were using crumb cake under their gray. Now, the truth is, and this really is the truth, I don't know that much about hippos. I do enjoy Animal Planet. I love Planet Earth. That's my favorite thing to sleep to when I can't sleep. I watch the Planet Earth videos. So I probably do know a little bit about hippos, but I don't know that much about them. And I don't really know what color they're supposed to be. I think gray. That's my feeling, is they're supposed to be gray. But Patricia was telling me that people have been adding crumb cake under. We'll have to see how this compares with some just gray. Well, that could be a good hippo color. It's hard to say. I think baby hippos, if I'm not mistaken, they could be almost pinky, but not kind of the pinky we have, right? All right, so I'm going to do not like bright pink that we have. So I have been doing light on their nose and light on their belly. Now I'm going to go around and do his head. So I'm using the dark crumb cake. This is for Patricia to see if it works. I don't think it's going to be bad regardless. It's a hippo, a dancing hippo. There are no bad dancing hippos, are there? Okay. And I'm actually not going to finish the whole thing here. I just want to give you a sample of what this would look like. I might do his nose so I can compare the two colors right next to each other. This is a different color. It's an interesting color. We're going to call it Crumb Slate. It's a combination of crumb cake and smoky slate. Or smoky crumbs. Oh, yeah, I like that. That sounds like a band, actually. Okay, so let me do this because I just want to compare this area. What's nice about the ballerina's nose is his mouth is closed, or her mouth, whatever, is closed. And so you can use the wide tip. You can color with abandon. Okay, and I was going to use my lighter one. Maybe gray and slate together. I don't know. That's kind of cute, I think. Oh, this is an old marker. I don't know if you can see, but the end of it is really frayed. Frayed? Is that the word? Smashed, I guess is the word. So I have to use my bullet tip, which is fine, but I have gone through a lot of gray markers in my life. I think it's my most used blend, to be honest. And that was pre-hippos. Oh, I am not doing a nice job of coloring this. Let me bring back the wide end and see if I can blend that all together, because I don't know if you can see, but that doesn't look so good. Oh yeah, that's better. I'm just gonna blend it all together and let it dry, and it will be fine. Yeah, it is an interesting color. I don't know how to compare it with. Well, I guess. See, it's kind of a browny gray. Smoky crumb, I guess. In any case, the other thing I wanted to show you was how to paper pierce. If you're not familiar with this, super duper easy. I am going to take my ballerina, this paper also from that pack of tea paper that I showed you earlier, this package of the tea, of all that tea paper. I'm going to take my ballerina that I put away. Where are you, sweetie? Grab here. Okay, so I'm going to take my ballerina, and I only really care about her tutu here. So I don't really have to ink up the whole thing. I've actually just kind of inked up the bottom of it. And I'm just going to stamp that on that paper there. And then I'm just going to cut out the tutu here. All right, if you are not familiar with our scissors, we have these unbelievably sharp scissors called Snips. I believe that they are back in stock. They were out of stock for a little while, but I think they're back in stock. And they are super, super sharp, so you definitely want to be careful, but the easiest way to use these is kind of to move the paper. I hate fussy cutting. That's what we call this. Some people just call it cutting. If you don't like to cut, you call it fussy cutting. I am not a fan of cutting, but to get the right tutu, I will do it. Okay, so let me show you this real quickly. I'm looking down at my paper and there's this big mark of red. I thought it was blood. It's not. Good news. No one was injured in the making of this card. Not yet, anyway. Okay, so you're just going to cut this as close as you can to the detail. And then you take your finished... Where's my tutu wearing? You know what? I will do this, and I'm going to finish coloring her later. But actually, I got to finish this now because I think it's just going to be difficult to add this color in here once her tutu is on. The tutu should be the last thing you put on, right? I would agree with that. I had a daughter who was a dancer, and I think that's a safe thing to say. Your tutu should be the last thing you put on. Okay, my dark gray. We do have something called an eraser, not eraser, a color lifter. And she looks like she could use a little color lifting. Let me try it. It works better with some colors than others, but let me kind of zoom you in so you can see. You can see, right? I know, you're being polite. You didn't want to say what a mess I'm making, but whoo, that's a mess. So let me show you. If you just use this color lifter right in the areas you went out of the lines, it should lighten the color. It doesn't completely remove it, so don't disillusion yourself. It's not going to solve all of your problems, but it can help. And it generally, if it works best if it's not a red. If you've got some kind of red, you're pretty much done. Red isn't coming off. Time to stamp with something else. Okay. All right, good enough, good enough, good enough. Okay, let me get all of these away, and I'll show you. It did take away some of that up here, so it's less noticeable. It's not, is it completely gone? No, but it is less noticeable. Okay, I'm going to, let me grab this. This is a concoction I made a few years ago, and it lasts a long time. So it is made from our fine tip glue, which looks like this, and a combination of the our regular green glue. So once this is about half empty, you can go ahead and add a bunch of green glue to that, and then you're going to end up with this easier to control. Here, let me zoom in a little bit so you'll be able to see. It's a little bit easier to control glue, but it comes out with the fine tip, which is handy. Ellen says she thinks she might need this. Ellen, I'm not even done yet. You definitely need this. start putting that order together because you are gonna need this. Here's the thing with this fine tip thing. You've got to put the tip, it's like a needle needs to go into it. So it's a little bit tricky. But every time you do it, you're like, yay, I did it. Okay, so now her tutu that I previously cut out. Oh my goodness, look at her. She's adorable. Isn't she so cute? I'm going to give her petal pink shoes as well, so they'll match. Oh my goodness, I just love her. Okay, so let me show you. This is called paper piecing, and that's how you can get that look. But let me show you this. La. So I used, you know, if you don't have any dancers in your life, you might not know this, but if you do have any dancers in your life, when you have to go to the recital, there's always that one kid. You know that kid. They make it worth the price of admission to that recital. In any case, so what I did with her is that I used the new distressed paper. It's called Distressed Gold. And it's in the big catalog, and it is with the Season of Chic. If you get the Season of Chic bundle or the Season of Chic suite, this comes with it. So it's 2 sheets of this 12 by 12 paper, and it's very light. It's a very flexible paper. Most of our foil paper is a little bit stiffer, but this is lighter than is very light. But it's really cool because it's kind of got that distressed look. It's well named. So I used that. I did a tiny sheet here. I didn't waste the whole thing and put it over here. I just did a tiny sheet on the top and the bottom of this to give me that little bit of glimmer. And that's what her tutu is made out of, as well as her shoes and her glasses. Oh my goodness, I love her. And then I used the words from Simply Fabulous Stamp Set saying, "You are simply fabulous," because yes, she is. I hope she never changes. Okay, so that is that one. Now, all right, I can't take credit for this at all. Another demonstrator whose name is Susan Campfield, I watched a video she did, and it was perfect, and I didn't need to change a thing. It was absolutely perfect the way she does it. That pink, yes, the pink, she does have nail polish on, because she's got nails, so why not give her polish? So the polish that I used for these was the coral, which is what I used on the inside. Ellen is asking where these cool glasses come from. Ellen wasn't here quite at the beginning, but I was showing that you get 22 dies with these hippos. So these are these glasses right here. That's where they came from. All right, so back to this card. So cute, right? So this is Susan Campfield's. I copied it exactly, so she gets all the credit for this. But here is the splatter embossing folder that I used here. This paper here, also from the tea paper. That tea paper came in really handy with my hippos. Who would have thought? Tea and hippos, right? I made his little bucket here. I didn't use the silver. I just gave him a green bucket. So this here that is supposed to look like a towel is actually this ribbon here called soft polyester ribbon. It is petal pink, and it is in the big catalog. And you definitely can't tell from a picture, but it is so soft. It's the softest ribbon we've ever had. It's almost like suede. Yeah, kind of like suede. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very suedey. Anyway, so I was able to use that as his little towel. All right, and this little guy, I just stamped him in gray. Gave him some little cheeks of petal pink, and that I did with the blends, and then just cut him out. So I didn't actually color him in at all. So it's another option of what you can do with that. If Susan is saying that if you get the tea set, you get a SaleABration item too. You are correct, Susan. Funny how Stampin' Up did that. Okay, so I'm actually going to stamp one thing, and I haven't previously made this card, but I'll tell you why. When you cut out these glasses, same as with the goggles here, when you cut them out, you get the outside and the inside, right? So I cut these out twice. That's how I got these colors on here, right? But I was thinking how fun it would be to make a baby little card, because I had... Where's my little dancing girl? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? My goodness, I've lost her. Oh, here she is. Okay. So when I cut out her gold glasses, I was left with the insides, and I thought, ho, I am not throwing those away. So I literally just did this before I came on. So I cut out some glasses in gold, and I'm going to use my tiny little concoction here, my glue concoction, and put a little bit of glue on here. Now, you could, if you thought in advance, you could actually cut this out using, or adhere this paper to our adhesive sheets, which would make this a whole lot easier. But I didn't think in advance, so is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to put that down on my little tiny I think it's like 2.5 inches. I'll tell you. It's 2.25 inches. I'm just making a tiny little note card that you would put in something. So it's not, it's just tiny. And now, because I happen to have this glue, you could use regular green glue here, but this is out, so I'm going to use it. And let me show you that trick again. So what I do is that I push this against my finger, and then it's easier to line up the next needle that needs to go in there. Okay, alrighty. Now I'm going to take my pick-a-tool, putty part of my pick-a-tool, to pick up my glasses. Now let's make sure, because they're not exactly the same. Yeah, so this is the lens for here. These glasses are so cool. Oh my goodness. Look at those. How fun are those? So fun. Okay, so let's go back to our stamp set, because we got the thing that says, "You're so hip." All right, sure, I'll use that. Let me grab a little block. Hope I don't mess this up now that I've glued it down. This is a big mistake. You should always stamp before you glue. You're so hip. La. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. And I will glue this now I'll just reach for my glue, because this is a lot of gluing now, right? There we go. So I'm just putting that on a slightly larger black, and then I'm just going to add some dimensionals. I could also use black dimensionals, but I happen to grab the white ones, so. Okay, I want to show you something here. There's some schmutz on the inside. Oh, if there's ever schmutz on your card, use that as an opportunity to cover it. Because when you start crafting, you end up with a lot of pieces that have schmutz. So just use that as a chance to cover something up. Oh my goodness, this is, who knew, right? Okay, so that little cute nothing card is from the Hippo set. Okay, great. All right, let me put that aside and show you the next thing. And that is that, where is it? Okay, it's on the desk. Give me a second. Give me a second. No, I've got the coolest thing to show you, and I cannot find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me just show you with this. Okay, so I can't give credit to this person because I have no idea who I actually learned this from. But there was a demonstrator who decided when she first saw this that it did not look like a hippo, but it looked like a cow. So we're going to make this an adorable cow. And I think she's right. And the reason I say that, well, because you'll see, it can be very cow-like. But when I zoom in, I'm going to show you something. It's not udders. Don't be scared. It's not what I'm going to show you. I should probably be using the small end of this. The bullet tip of the blend gives you a lot more control. But I'm living on the edge. Okay. Look at those eyes. Those are definitely cow eyes. Look at that. She was totally right. So, all you need to transform a hippo into a cow is a marker. And then I'm just going to put some random spots. And no two cows look alike. So you can make a bunch of these, right? And you could have a herd of cows. Okay, I think he's good. La. So there's the cow. Easy peasy. So what to make with the cow? Well, this is what I came up with. This little packet here. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to do this little packet because this takes zero effort to make this. And this is milk chocolate in here, just to let you know. Okay, so we have a big pack of paper in our annual catalog that's like a lot of gingham paper. So it's got a black side and a white side. So let's see, this one I'll do this way. So it will be kind of the opposite pattern. That's a really small gingham on this one. We're going to use a large gingham. So you can do this with any size square, but this is 6 by 6. So this paper comes in 12 by 12. You can get 4 of these per sheet of paper. And then, so now you have this that opens up here. And you're just going to bring this over. So it's going to look kind of like a McDonald's fry box. Okay, so you're just bringing this. I took it from this corner here, and I'm just going straight across here. And we're not going to worry a lot about, if you do this exactly right, well, I'll show you in a minute what happens if you do it exactly right, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to cover it up. So now that I have this tip here, I'm just going to bring this one over so that your straight edge lines up along this straight edge here. Right? Very French fry box looking at this point. And then you have these 2 open pieces here, and you're just going to fold this one down. Oh, it came out pretty good. If it comes out exact, this covers this completely, but it's pretty good. Wasn't so good with my first one. And then now you have a packet to put your milk chocolate in there. And then to put this on here, I just use the... there's a punch, a brand new punch that goes with the Handmade Wishes. So I use this outline here, punched it out with the petal pink, to bring in some petal pink here. And then you have your little packet. I was also thinking it could be really cute to put a, like an ice cream card, ice cream shop gift card in there. See, with him on there alone, I thought he was a little lost. I kind of liked him on that. But if you like him on there like that, then that's fine. And we have this black and white gingham ribbon that complements this perfectly. So, okay. I know, right? Ellen's saying she loves it as a cow. I agree. I think I like the cow more than the hippo. All right, but let me show you the very final card. And this is what had me from the get-go. This is copied completely from a demonstrator named Simone Brow, I believe is how you say her name. Right? I love this. So all she did was use the dies, all kind of summary type dies that she cut out. And then underneath, I actually use my blends to color underneath. So you can't see underneath this paper, but if you could, you'd see a bunch of just scribble, 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 scribble in all different colors. So I literally would hold my paper down and generally know where to scribble, pick it up, move on to the next color. And then I glued on whatever I had cut out, I glued on top. I used my blends to color in the back, so that's why the color is so vivid. But then to get these random splotches on the front, I used a regular marker and my water paint, and I just kind of plopped it all over the place. Ellen said she saved this to a folder. Okay, I had seen this, fell in love with it, but said I don't know if I need the hippos, so I didn't save it. And then I spent 2 days looking for it. But I found it, and I copied it exactly. Well, actually, close to exact. I used a different bottom over here. And the Sunshine to Brighten Your Day is from the Sending stamp set. So let me pull in all of the things that I was able to create with the cow. Whoops, I mean the... Did I call it cow? I didn't mean cow, the hippos. Right? Like, look at all of these cute things. How could you not want this? Look at all of these. La. Okay, and let me just remind you again, these are what all the dies look like. So now your wheels are turning. Think of all the things you could use this for. And the dies as well as the stamp set are both with qualifying orders of $50. So if you put in a $100 order, you can get both of these. If you don't put in a $100 order, or that's not in, you're not in the place to do that right now, but you would like both of these, I would absolutely order the dies first, because they typically, dies and paper are the things that sell out prior to stamp sets, typically. I cannot promise that, I do not know for sure, but that's the way I would go. I would definitely get the dies before the stamp set if you had to pick one or the other. Okay, so that is it. Let me flip you down, chat for a second. So what do you think? You all love hippo/cows now, right? Oh, great. Sandy's saying she just got her order today and she has the hippos and the dies. Get busy, woman. You got some cards to create. And this is just the beginning. As Susan had mentioned, there are so many stampers out there coming out with so many ideas for these hippos. It's just, there's so much fun stuff to do with it, and it's just going to bring joy to whomever you send it to. It's a great, fun, happy card. Not just for little kids, that's for sure. Okay, so that's it for this evening. If there's anything that you have a question on, certainly leave me the question. I'll be happy to try my best to answer it for you. If you have been inspired and you now need to purchase some things, please go to the demonstrator who brought you here. If that demonstrator is me, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you out. If it's someone else, please reach out to them and they will be happy to help you out. But act quickly. We have not been told that they're on low inventory, but I'm not sure we're going to be told that. We might just be told they're gone. And I don't want you to be disappointed, because you're going to have a great time creating with these. So please, please get to your demonstrator and get that ordered ASAP. All right, I plan to see you next Tuesday here, but reach out to me if you have any questions prior to that. I'd be happy to help you out. Again, my name is Betty Sakosha. I am the team leader for Power Positive Inking and an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Oh, did I mention, if you are not a demonstrator yet and you would like to be one, please reach out, because if you become a demonstrator during the month, during SaleABration, so July or August, you get this really cool planner thing. I should have showed it to you here, but it's really cool, and you get a stamp set that goes with it, and you will love it, and then you continue to get discounts on your purchases from that point on. Nobody judges you. You don't even have to have parties. We're a very non-judgmental group when it comes to how you spend your craft money. That's for sure. Okay, thanks, guys. I will see you next Tuesday, I hope. Thanks for tuning in. You have a great week. Stay cool. It's going to be hot around here, so stay in your happy place and create while you can. Okay, thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye.